Hello everyone, welcome to EGC Reviews. My name is the enigmatic Olumide Bisiriyu. I've been doing something like this for a while now on my WhatsApp, on my Facebook, talking about movies and reviewing. And I thought about it in movie, right? Why don't we make a video? So welcome to EGC Reviews. So today I want to be talking about two movies made by the same writer and the same producer. That is Brotherhood and Gangs of Lagos, written and produced by Jade Osiberu. Let's get at it. To start with, I think both are very, very good films. They have very good cinematography, very good story structure, very good cast and crew. So I'll give it to them on the two sides. But then both also deal with crime. But is that all there is about a movie? Okay, so let's compare and contrast. Now, when you talk about depth in movies, it's not just about writing storyline, but then, the depth, when we look at poetry, for instance, poems that have more depth, I think they are given more respect than those with less depth. So, in movie also, I think Brotherhood has more depth than Gangs of Lagos. When you look at it, it's the story of a brother who is a police officer trying to stop his other brother who is a criminal, and you look at it compared to Gangs of Lagos, where all you have is just crime, jumping from one crime to the other. So they may say both talk about Lagos, things that happen in Lagos, but I think even if you are talking about things that are real, you should be able to have more depth to your story. So for depth, Brotherhood. Okay, now I said it before that both have very good cinematography, very good with colors and the like. But then when you look at the more crispy shot, I will give that to Gangs of Lagos. I think their shots are a bit more crispy, sharper and cleaner, crystal-like feeling compared to Brotherhood, where it's just there. But the cinematography of both is good. Okay, now for the emotional part, when you look at the emotional part, you look at the case in point for Gangs of Lagos is the death of Ife. You look at that part touched a lot of people, like the good guy died and the like. But then is that all there is to it? You look at the Brotherhood part also. There are several slight emotional things in one or two small places, but the biggest part of the emotional part for me is when the police officer brother is trying to stop his other criminal brother from doing crime, and at the same time when he got to a point where they were shooting the criminal brother and he was falling inside the turbulent bridge, and you see him shouting, "It's my brother, it's my brother," he was trying to stop them. His brother was doing the wrong thing, but then like what they say, blood is thicker than water. He was still trying to stop them from killing that criminal brother. I think for me that is more emotional compared to the emotional part of Gangs of Lagos. Yeah, if you watch a film, you look at, okay, what are the positive things I'm getting from this film? What are the negative things I'm getting from this film? I think for me, Brotherhood has a more positive feeling than Gangs of Lagos. I've said it and I'll keep saying it again. Crime and crime and crime. Okay, what we will get from this crime? See, it's just crime. For me, it has lesser positive vibe compared to Brotherhood, where you have a story of a brother trying to escape crime and the like. For me, it's good. Also for now this is a serious part for me because I have a link with Lagos, and I know Jade Osiberu is also from Lagos. But then you look at it using the Eyo masquerade as a tool for criminal, or maybe like a symbol of criminal. I think for somebody who is watching the film for the first time, you don't know about Eyo before, the first thing that comes to your mind is that, okay, maybe Eyo is used for criminal activities. For me, that is a desecration of the deity, if I could call it that. It would have been better if you strike a balance. Okay, the Eyo that did bad thing and the Eyo that did good thing. But what we saw was just Eyo carrying gun. Then I think there was a party scene also where you have the Eyo people carrying gun instead of a pambata. So for me, that is kind of for people who tend to who we thought like they grew up in Lagos, they knew about the Lagos system. That is not a good thing for the Eyo masquerade. Is a respected diet, is a respected masquerade. I think we should just keep it at that, or at least strike a balance for that part. Now to what did they do better, what did they do badly? Film is art, so you can't really judge art 100%. You can't be correct all the time with art. But then let's start from here. Like I said before, Obalola not escaping crime, for me, that's a bad message, a bad outlook. It would have been better if he escaped the crime and not that he now became a crime lord. That's a negative part. But they didn't really tell us if he really actually escaped the crime life. But then the story of the brotherhood, the criminal brother in Brotherhood, you look at it like, okay, he was able to eventually called his brother, even when the brother thought he's dead, and he said, okay, I'm alive, and then you see him in a different place. I think that's a more positive outlook. So for me, what he did better, for the ending part, for the outcome, Brotherhood is better. Also, for the language, it is good for code mixing. I like the way we code mix in Yoruba movies, English movies, Igbo movies, Hausa movies, and the like. Code mixing generally in Nigeria and in Nollywood per se. But then you look at it, you have too much Yoruba in Gangs of Lagos. If I'm not somebody who understands Yoruba, there is no subtitle. Maybe even when you have subtitles, you kind of you don't enjoy it when you understand the language they are speaking better. So the code mixing would have been better balanced than having too much of Yoruba. But then it's still not bad. It's still a good thing for the film. Now to one part where most people don't look at, you look at the soundtrack for both films. We may just ignore it. That's not what we want to see for most people. Yeah, but then it's part of it. Now the soundtrack for Gangs of Lagos, I think it's better than that. The one of Brotherhood. You look at the soundtrack. It's more fitting. It's more thuggish, and they like compared to. I think they just put the soundtrack there for Brotherhood for me. But then, like I said, it's art. Okay, you can't really judge 100%. You can't even really get everything 100%. Art is subjective. But then before I end this review, there are two people I want to talk about. They acted in both films. That's talking about Toby Bakre and Mr. Macaroni. Let me compare how they fared in both films. For Toby Bakre, in Brotherhood, I think he looks more confident, he has a more confident outlook compared to him in Gangs of Lagos. Now, several things can happen on set. It could be the director, it could be the producer, it could be all other things that happen on set. So that might affect his outlook. He was not really looking that much confident. Even when he was more of this fighting, his fights were good, and like Zlatan and all of them, he did well. But then the outlook, the confidence was not there for me, for Toby Bakre in Gangs of Lagos. Now, to Mr. Macaroni, you look at him, you know all his kids where you have ladies duping him, he's trying to scam ladies, but ladies eventually scapping him, and that shivering outlook, I think it brought that to Gangs of Lagos, and he played it very well. When he were about to kill him, and it was, the way he was shaking, the way he was looking, is more fitting for him compared to his role in Brotherhood. And he no be thug, he no get thug face, he no get thug outlook. He tries, but he no be thug, But then, so that's all about the review. Now, who won, Brotherhood or Gangs of Lagos? Who am I to judge? You are the judge.